Well, you wouldn't believe it, guys. I'm in the middle of suburbia in Melbourne at a barbecue with some fantastically restored vintage motocross bikes, and somebody's here that's won 5 championships on bikes just like this, Roger DeCosta. Roger, welcome to Australia, mate. And
good to see
what are you doing here at the barbecue?
Well, a common friend of us knew I was coming to Sydney, and he talked me into stopping by here. I'm glad I did. It's a good bunch here.
Mate, it really has been a pleasure to see you out here supporting the vintage guys. Do you do much of sort of these guest appearances with the vintage scene around the world, really?
Not really. I get a lot of requests to do it, but because our schedule is so busy, you know, it usually doesn't work out. It's still fun, and I still feel lucky to be involved and with racing and to work with young people and competitive people and basically to make a living from my hobby.
Roger DeCosta on the RM 370, mate. Tell us when you won the championship on this very bike.
You know, I'd been racing for CZ for several years, and then in '71 was the first time that the Japanese company entered the 500 class, and I was the only rider. After some national events in Belgium, I felt that, you know, I could win, and I felt the bike was good. So I went to the first race believing that we could win, and I don't think the Japanese thought we could do it the first year. We ended up winning that first GP. And
did you know from then that was it, your season, that you were going to win a championship?
Well, I knew that I was going to be in the hunt, definitely.
Yep.
And I believed in it till it happened, you know, till it done. And for the '72 season, I feel I had the best bike compared to the competition that I had in my career. And I feel that that season I was on the top of my game also. I was in peak condition, and I had so much confidence that year that I felt I could let the guys go on the start, and I would catch them, you know. I would start going for it at the last 15 minutes and catch everybody and pass everybody.
You were regarded back in your time, you continued racing when a lot of people stopped racing. But before that, when did you realise that, hey, I need to get out and start training and doing some running and some physical fitness to ride these motorbikes at my best condition? When did you actually realise that?
You know, you did not have the same amount of time that is available to the racers today, because the travelling took a lot longer. Like, for example, if you had a GP in Russia, we would drive from Belgium, and with the border crossings taking a long time, and it would take you a week to get there. So what we would do, we would have a friend somewhere along the road. You would have your friend drive the car, and you would run a few miles along the road, jump back in the car and drive for another 5 or 10 hours, you know.
That's amazing, the things that you had to do to get around.
It was just different, but, you know, it was the same for everybody, so that's the way it was.
That's amazing. Now, mate, as I said, you really are an icon of this sport. You've been around this sport for 30-odd years and at the top of your game. Who do you think is the greatest rider of all time? I
feel that a champion of one generation, if he was born in the next generation or 2 generations over, he would become a champion, and vice versa. You know, there's in every generation there's several good riders, good racers, but the guys that win the championships, I think the difference is a state of mind, and you see yourself as becoming a champion, and you do whatever it takes. You learn to do what it takes to get there.
Yep.
And it's that vision of seeing yourself and do whatever it takes. I think that's the difference between the good riders and the ones that do win the championships.
Definitely. Well, Roger, look, with those words of wisdom, thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, if you want to know about motocross, he is the man that's going to teach you. Thank you very much, mate.